Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2019 album review. And today we're going to be looking into the new album from the band Nile, entitled Vile Nilotic Rites. Hope I said that right, which came out today through Nuclear Blast Records. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Nile, they're a death metal band hailing all the way from Greensville in South Carolina. These guys have been around since 1993. And of course, Nile is pretty much one of my favorite death metal bands, along with like Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, and bands of that nature. Sure. And like this is the band's ninth album, and they've been putting out albums since their very first album, Amongst the Catacombs of Nephron, which came out in 1998. And they've pretty much been one of my favorite bands. And these guys have been around, like I said, for a little over 25 years, well, 26 now. Have so many lineup changes. Like the only original member is, of course, vocalist and guitarist Carl Sanders. And of course, this is the first album without longtime member Dallas Toller Wade, who left the band probably in 2017. And this is the first album with the Brian Kingsland, who plays in the band Enthean, I believe. And the first album with, of course, my homie Brad Paris on bass. And this is, of course, the follow-up to their previous album, What Should Not Be Unearthed, which came out in 2015, which I thought was a pretty good album. But in my honest opinion, does this album live up to What Should Not Be Unearthed has? In my honest opinion, fuck yeah. Like, I swear, Now Can Do No Wrong, although their 2012 album, At the Gates of Sethu, which I have no comment on, but anyway. Just the production is just superb. Like, they pretty much stepped it up right here. It just sounds very crisp. Just the vocal work from Carl and girl Brad, and I believe even Brian just sounds really good. And just the guitar work in general is just sick. Just very thick, very crunchy, and just the lead playing is just all over the place. The bass is pretty audible, and drumming wise, what can I say about George Coleus? In my honest opinion, one of the best death metal drummers of all time. Like, I don't know how he does it, but goddamn, George can do no wrong. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting off the album is the song Long Shadows of Dread, which is our first glimpse of what this pretty much most recent incarnation of Nile is, and it's a sensible if safe choice. A cacophony of like relentless riffs, busy drum work, and inhuman utterances indicated that, if nothing else, and these lineup changes will not harm Nile's lay waste to all that just falls before them. Great way to start off this album. Anyway, next song is the Oxford Handbook of Savage Genocidal Warfare. Would be laughable if it had not worked, but it actually does. Those and Now are just so damn good at what they do. It's hard to not appreciate the amount of work it must not take to just come up with a song like this, where it just stops and it just becomes a hazardous and gear changes occur more than sort of like the Formula One race, but an entire album that all differentiate from each other. And non-fans of this type of music may not see it, but there's a lot of dynamics happening in like a band of Nile. Anyway, moving on to the title track of the album, Vile Nilotic Rites. Freaking sick song. I love it. Just wow. Ugh, I can't even describe it. Anyway, Seven Horns of War, which is a juggernaut of brutality, showcases with speeds of just furor and dark atmosphere that tackles its sort of Egyptian mythology head like I think never before, and just pretty much what Nile's songs in general just talk about, like the Egyptian stuff and Middle Eastern stuff. And the ancient theme is another signature of the band, of course, that can be found, like I said, on every album from release. But here it does have that tip of the hat, that how they originally mixed this idea into their music onto those first two albums, and it just sounds so brilliantly evil. Next song on the album is called That Which Is Forbidden. Another sick song. I love it. Snake Pit Mating Frenzy, which is another winner, as they all appear to be really, but this one has just a bit of that old school death metal flavor to it, stripping things down to its bare essentials. As its stupidly aggressive nature, it rips things apart quickly, ending way too short for our liking. Revel in Our Suffering is another hook-driven song with plenty of grooves, another reminder that Nile knows how to combine sort of like the technicality of the music with something that is tangible for the average ear. Thus Saith the Parasites of Mind, another sick song. I love it. Same thing with the next song, Where Is the Wrathful Sky. I love it. Then we're moving on to the next song on the album, which is The Imperishable Stars Are Sickened, which is pretty much the most challenging track on here, where this is pretty much has a lot happening all at once with numerous tempo changes and a lot of different sounds filling in the background. It may take a few minutes to sort of or a few listens, I should say, to latch onto it, but it's well worth it. And then the album closes with We Are Cursed, which I believe is a great way to end this album, just and everything just boom, with just one last hurrah. So overall, Vile Nilotic Rites by Nile is a really great album. One of the best death metal albums I've heard. And to celebrate release date, I'm going to see them tonight at the Loft at Center Stage as part of Mass Destruction Fest in Atlanta. It's going to be an awesome kick-ass show. So if anybody that's going to that show, I will see you all there. So yeah, if I were to give the new Nile album a score, I'm going to give this probably a solid 9 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of the new Nile album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video and tonight in Atlanta to see them. So yeah, keep it metal.